Hi boys and girls. In this video I'm going to be going over your brain check with you for science. So if you would open up your science book to page 347, that is the page with our brain check on it today. And we are going to be reviewing our solids, liquids, and gases. So as you know, last week we started learning about matter and the different forms of matter. We learned that matter is basically everything God created. It's anything that takes up space, anything we can see, and even the things we can't see. Um, we then talked about mass, and we said that mass is how much space it takes up. Okay, so everything that takes up space is matter. The more matter, the bigger the mass. The less matter, the smaller the mass. Um, and then we started talking about the three forms of matter: liquids, solids, and gases. And we talked about different things that can be liquids, can be solids, can be gases. So now we're going to look at this picture, and you're going to need a red, a blue, and a yellow crayon. And what the directions say here are: color each solid red, color each liquid blue, and color each gas yellow. Now, I want to remind you, when I'm talking about gas in science, we're not talking about gasoline that you get at the gas station, because that would be a liquid, right? When we're talking about gases in science, we're referring to almost like the air or the smoke or the steam that fills up the room around us, okay? So looking at the picture, we won't be able to see the gases necessarily, but if it's something that has a gas in it, then you can color it as a gas. So what I mean by that is, if I look at these balloons, the balloons themselves are solids, right? They are objects that are made of solid material. But when we blow into them and they fill up with our air, the air inside of them is the gas. Okay, same with our hot air balloon. Okay, the air heats up and it creates that hot air that causes the balloon to rise. So when you color the balloons, it's the air inside of them. The tires on the bike, the tires themselves are solids, but there's air inside of them that is a gas, okay? So go ahead and go through, and if it is a solid, which is something that keeps its shape, like the towel or the chair, you'll color those red. If it is a liquid, such as the water in the ocean or the cold drinks there, the water bottles, you can color those blue for liquid. And then the gases you will color yellow. And again, if it's something that has a gas in it, you can color it yellow as well. Okay, you can either pause the video right now and get that done and then unpause when you are done, or you can wait to do that until we're done with the other side and you can go back to it once we're done. So it's up to you if you want to pause right now and get that done, or if you want to just keep going on to the next page and then go back to it. Okay, so on page 348 it says write to complete the chart. So these boxes, we're going to put the types of matter or the kind of matter. So they have solid, so we're going to look to fill in liquid and gas. And then over here, it's the definition of what a solid, a liquid, or a gas is. Okay, so we want the definition of a solid. So if you have your science book in front of you, you can turn back your pages and you can look in your science book at what did our book define or explain to us what a solid is. And if you look on page 342, it explains that a solid is a kind of matter that keeps its shape. Okay, so we can put on here keeps its shape. Okay, and if you need to go on to the next line, you can do that. So take a minute and write that. Keeps its shape. And now we're going to look at the definition here. So it's either going to be a gas or a liquid. It says that it flows and it takes the shape of its container. Okay, Well, I know that water flows and water would take the shape of its container, and I know that water is a liquid. So for the second kind of matter there, you should write liquid. And if you need to pause while you write that, go ahead. And the last one then says the definition is it fits all the space in its container, or it fills all the space in its container. And we know that that is a gas. Okay, if you were to put liquid into a balloon, it would only fill up as much as you'd put in there. So it would hang out at the bottom, and as you filled it, it would, fill it more. But if you were to put gas in a balloon, no matter how much, it would fill that whole space. Okay. So now down here it says write to complete the sentences. It says all matter has blank and takes up blank. Well, this goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning. All matter has mass, right? And we discussed that we don't mean mass like church in science. We mean mass as in how big or small something is. Its size is its mass. So all matter has mass and it takes up space. So for that last one, you should write the word space. And if you need to pause the video to write those words, you may. And at this point, if you are finished with your brain check, you can take your pictures and upload it onto Class Dojo. If you still need to go back and finish coloring the liquids, solids, and gases on 347, you should do that now. And I look forward to seeing these on Class Dojo soon. Bye, boys and girls.